About 10% of adults in the United States have panic attacks each year, and they typically fall within the age range of 15 to 25 years old. Panic attacks suck and they're extremely terrifying. They can put you in the hospital, they can make you feel like the whole world is ending around you. And the frustrating part is that they're actually not dangerous for you, even though they feel like it. The tricky part with panic attacks is that the more you try to control the symptoms, the more you're actually telling your brain that the symptoms are dangerous. Panic attack is a strong feeling of fear that can happen anywhere at any time. Typically, people who have panic attacks generally show at least four or more of the signs here. This could include things like trembling or shaking, throat tightness, headaches, dizziness, or any sort of numbness. I know several people who have struggled with panic attacks for years, and talking to them about some solutions that people may offer, like do some deep breathing work or ground yourself and just stay focused. Like that advice is really not helpful for a lot of people, although it's not to undermine the importance of that and how it actually can help some people. But for a lot of people, that stuff just doesn't help with panic attacks. So what can actually be done in situations like that? To better understand how to solve your panic attacks, you want to understand the cycle of how to create them. Typically, there's a trigger followed by a physiological sensation, which then makes you create a panic story in your head. This could be something like a school project that's due, or maybe your boss got mad at you. This will then, in turn, cause your heart rate to go up. You could start sweating intensely, and your breathing could start to become extremely heavy. This then creates the stories, these panic stories in your head, like, this is the end for me. I'm dying. I think I'm having a heart attack. Trying to control all the panic attack makes your brain thinks that you're more in danger. This will just increase your anxiety, which fuels the panic attacks. There's a helpful solution that's actually pretty surprising. You have to recognize the stories as they arise. You have to embrace the cycle of physiological symptoms, knowing you can handle it. Then you have to embrace the bring it on attitude. I know it sounds absolutely insane to sit there and say, hey, I want to welcome my panic attacks. I want to bring on all the symptoms. But there's actually a lot of evidence around this, and there's some fascinating stories, one of which I'll actually link in the description below, of people utilizing this bring it on attitude, and it completely changing the way that they deal with panic attacks. Some people have seen immense changes in their lives because of this. So to recap, you're not necessarily saying, I'm going to shy away from panic attacks and be totally terrified of them. So once it happens, it's going to completely overtake me and control the anxiety within me, creating this spiral that just leads to more panic attacks. What you're actually doing is acknowledging that, hey, there's a certain trigger or thing that may cause this. I'm acknowledging the sensations in my body, and I'm actually trying to encourage those things to happen and pass and go through because they're not inherently dangerous. There's a demon standing right in front of you that's seemingly impossible to defeat, but it's actually not real. Now, I don't want to undermine the shock that panic attacks can actually have and the realness that exists for many people. Panic attacks are very real. They're very terrifying. However, the stories that we create are often not real. The solution on paper is simple, but the execution can be extremely hard. Know that you're not alone in this, and you can make it through. Remember to take care of yourselves. Remember to take care of those around you. And for all things psychology to help you think, feel, and perform better, stay tuned right here on Psychology of Living.